When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes, is the answer. Now, here is the host of The Long Bearded Guy, the Chief Catalyst, Strategist Guide at Jewel International, Gordon D Melville.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to The Long Bearded Guy, Gordon D Melville. That's me on Inspired Choices Network. Today, welcome to Red Fridays, by the way. Red Fridays, my red vest, RED, remember everyone deployed. And they're willing to stand on a wall. They're willing to take a hit for us so that we can do whatever it is we think is important to us. And so mad respect for them. Huge, huge props, lots of love. And I want to make sure that we acknowledge that and make sure they know we love and respect them. So welcome to Red Fridays. All right, so as we get going today, we're going to talk today about translating our priorities. Check your schedule and your checkbook. Translate priorities, check your schedule and your checkbook. So as we get going with this is going to be an interesting one. When I was working through this one and talking with some people about this concept, it was board that may ruffle some feathers and poke a bear, and it may. And you know what? You all know, if you watch it all and listen to me at all, you know that's my job. I feel that's my mission, is to make sure if you want to move forward and you want to grow with intention, that it happens intentionally, but that you move forward. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes, right? If you don't do anything different, nothing's going to change. And so this is going to rattle your chain a little bit, and it's something that hits really close to home because it's around where we spend our time and where we spend our money, and those two things a lot of times can hit a nerve with people. And so I'm not going to shield. It's going to come, both barrels, and because again, that's partly that's who I am, and partly that's I want to make sure that I'm taking you to another level if that's where you want to go. Welcome. I know there's people listening from all over the place. There's people listening at work. There's people listening at home and on the road and all over the world. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. I have my special mug and I've got tea. I don't have coffee. I would be really amped up if I was drinking coffee today. So it's tea. But the other thing I wanted to make, you got 30 seconds or so. If you don't have something to write with or write on, you want to grab that because you're going to want to take notes. Most of us can't retain, and they say almost everybody can't retain more than 10% of what they hear, even if they take good notes. So you're going to hear some stuff. Now, if you're driving, obviously that's going to be difficult. But anywhere else, please grab something to write on and to write with so that you can take some notes. I deeply appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for reaching out to the people that engage. It's all about engagement for me, right? We have a ridiculous, huge reach in the hundreds of millions reach across 450 platforms globally. But I'm looking for engagement. I want you to reach out to me, right? I'm looking for people to connect. And so I encourage you to do that. And any social media platform you want to go on, you can find us. Not just me, but everybody else on the network. So for those of you that don't know who I am, for those of you that know who I am, of course, I'm the same lovable, long-bearded guy I always have been. But for those of you that don't know me, I am on a mission to positively change the lives of every man I meet. And I want to do that by increasing or raising their emotional quotient. And if sometimes we get a little bit woo-woo around that idea, it's not woo-woo, it's absolute science. And our lives do get better if we raise our quotient. So I'm the founder and CEO at Jewel International. I'm a legacy and resiliency strategist, multiple award-winning international best-selling author multiple times. I'm an international keynote speaker all over the place. I've spoken at all over the world. I'm an elite performance catalyst for a finalist local pro basketball team. They came one game short of winning it all, but they finished the season number one. They had the first winning season in franchise history. So that goes, it wasn't just about what I was doing with them. It was a whole bunch of things, but it certainly contributed to what was going on. I teach the 7 levels of emotional intelligence for men. I'm teaching tools and strategies to be able to deal with your life, to be able to plug in and not just, it's not outside the box thinking, it's burn the box, eradicate the box. There's no box. just teach them some ways to be able to deal with life. And so if that connects with you, I serve, and my avatars are entrepreneurial men mostly, and pro athletes. And that's, it's been wonderful, and honored to do that. I've been talking to Tampa Bay Rays. I've been talking to the Toronto Argonauts. I've been talking to a bunch of people in the sports industry, and there's a huge dearth of attention given to what our process is, what our mindset is, and especially with pro athletes. That's a high pressure situation, but the same thing with business, same thing in high finance, same thing in leadership roles. People, they have the skills and the gear they use, but their mindset nobody pays attention to. And a lot of times the mindset, it's not necessarily more important, because you still have to have a skill, you still have to execute, you still have to have the right gear. But if you don't have your mindset correctly in sports or in business, you're goofed. Matter of fact, in any part of your life, at home is the same, right? So we're going to talk today, and I'm excited to have you find us on Google TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, iHeartRadio, anywhere that you listen to your stuff. Please download it, like it, love it, share it, subscribe, hit the bell to make sure you get all the notifications. But please share this. It's a free download. Inspired Choices Network on anywhere, Apple or Android. Just look for Inspired Choices Network, download it. There's some amazing hosts on this network. So don't just listen to me, listen to them too. So let's get after it here. Obviously, when you like, love, share, and subscribe, it helps the algorithm, helps us pay for the show. One of the ways that helps us pay for the show. So please do that for us. All right, let's get going. Translate priorities, check your schedule in your checkbook. This is what I want to talk about, or at least the concept around this. And I'm going to be as raw and real as I can, because I believe that's what my mission is to make sure that I love you enough not to leave you where you are. If you're happy where you are, no problem. But I suspect you won't listen to me for very long, because you're like, well, I don't want to grow. I'm not. It's interesting to listen to maybe, but I'm not going to do anything with it. So I can better spend my time somewhere else. So I want to give you a quick definition and some antonyms for priorities. Definition of priority. What's a priority? Right? What's it? In some ways, it's our why. What's the priority? Where do we want? Why are we doing what we're doing? Why is that important to us? Well, it's a priority, right? We all have priorities. Something that is more important than all other things, and that needs to be done or dealt with first, is a priority, right? It's on the top of the list. I got to get this done, or I need to connect with this person, or I need to be like this. 2, the things that someone cares about and thinks are important is a priority, right? Good, bad, or otherwise. I was talking to a potential client the other day, and they smoke. And we were talking about this concept around priorities and what's important. And when they said, well, I don't have the time and I don't have the money, I'm like, great. What I just heard was, no offense, what I heard was, I don't want to. Because if you want the things we want to, the things that we care about and that are important to us, we believe are important, we find time for, we make time for. I said to her, you smoke? She said, she told me she smoked. I said, well, so you smoke? Yes. Did you smoke yesterday? Well, yeah, of course. It's hurting you. It's not good for you, but you made time in your day to do that multiple times. How many times did you do? And so we got into that a little bit. She doesn't have time to journal or to read or to plug into herself or to do personal development, but she's got time to smoke. That's a priority. That's an important thing in her life, and nothing changes that. So an antonym for priorities could be inferiority. It could be last. It could be subversive. So if something is not a priority, it's last on the list or lower in the list, maybe it's inferior. Maybe we're not putting it as a priority because we don't have interest there the same way. It's maybe something that has to get done, but it's not something necessarily that's urgent that I do right this second. It always made me laugh when people, oh, you can't call me at work, right? Or we don't want to call people at work because, oh, I don't want to interrupt them at work. Oh, I couldn't do that. and you call them at work and go, did it get you at a bad time? And they're like, oh no, I'm just at work. Right? Most people love to do, their own personal stuff on the boss's dime. Right? But again, it's a priority. Is work a priority? For some people, yeah. For some people, not so much. And it shows in their productivity, right? It shows in the way that they conduct themselves. It shows in the ways they spend time and energy, right? So I guess the point I'm trying to get across to you is we can lie to ourselves and sell ourselves. People tell me all the time, I'm not a salesperson. Everybody's a salesperson. Everybody on the planet is a salesperson. My wife tells me all the time, I'm so not a salesperson. The most not salesperson person you'd ever meet. And I'm like, really? Because you convinced me more than 32 years ago that you were the most important thing and the best person for me to spend the rest of my life with. That's selling, folks. And was she? Absolutely she was. She was absolutely correct. 32 years later of being married, absolutely, she was absolutely correct. But that's selling. We don't call it that. If you recommend a product, you're selling. If you recommend a movie, or if you don't recommend a movie or a book or your makeup or whatever it is, a program or a service, or you're selling, right? So it makes it, what is the priority? You can sell yourself on the idea, hey, this is a priority, whatever it is, family, job, reading, you can tell yourself, hey, these are priorities. It's really important to me that I spend time with my family. My family is really important to me. And by the way, I'm preaching as much to me, and I'm not that I want to be preaching to you, but I'm sharing and talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you. As much as I'm talking to you. I've been on the wrong side of this. For 3 decades, I was on the wrong side of this. I spent everything, lots of things came as a priority, more important than me, and more important sometimes than my family. I can say, oh, my health is important. That's a priority. My family's a priority. I have news for you. I have real, raw, unvarnished truth. Check your checkbook. And I know people go, oh, I don't have a checkbook. Or, all right, so check your bank book, check your credit cards, check where you spend your money, and check your schedule. Because the raw truth is where you spend your time and your money, that's the priority, regardless of what you sell yourself on, regardless of what you tell yourself, regardless of the lies that you believe on your own. Where you spend your time and your money is the priority for you. We'll let that just settle and sink in there, because that's the reality of it. You can say what you want. Your mouth can tell yourself whatever you want, but at the end of the day, where you spend your time and your money is your priority. That may be brutal, and when we get to it today, you may hear some stuff and you go, holy crap, wait a second. Because if you want to move, again, if you don't change anything, nothing changes. Nothing changes. You have to infuse something different into yourself. That's why I read. Somebody asked me on a podcast this week when I was being interviewed, why do you read? What's the importance of that? What's the importance of going to seminars? Or what's the importance of listening to good podcast? Why do you do that? What's the benefit? The benefit is I'm trying to put new good stuff into me. I'm trying to keep my cup full. It's not pour out of, oh, I can't pour out of an empty cup. Why are you pouring? Don't pour out of the cup. Just keep pouring good stuff in the top, and the overflow will go to the people around you. The overflow will go. But I'm putting new good stuff in constantly putting new good stuff in, because that's a priority for me. Intentional growth is a priority for me. That's important in my life. Nobody ever lays on their deathbed going, wow, I should have spent some more time at work. Right? Nobody at a funeral goes doing a eulogy talking about, well, he was great at work. He was awesome at work. He had a great house, big house. He had a beautiful car and a beautiful wife, and he had, all these toys. That never happens. You never hear that, ever. Why? Because those aren't priorities. Once you're not here, it's not a priority. Again, the raw truth of it, all the things we protect and look after and things we hold on to, oh, I can't get this hurt and I can't. Once we're not here anymore, guess what, folks? It goes away. They're going to sell it or give it away, or it's not important to anybody else. Most of the stuff is not important to anybody else the way it is to you. You need to hold it with an open hand. The tighter you grasp on it, the faster it's going away. That's just the reality of it. That's the reality of it. We need to get our priorities in line. And I'm not telling you what your priority is. Your priority can be whatever your priority is. That's between you and your creator and you and yourself. That has nothing to do with me. What I'm telling you, though, is if you want your life to improve, we need to, and you want to grow, intentionally grow, your priorities have to change. The priorities have to shift, and the priorities have to grow with you. I need to take a quick break here, but I need to do a quick shout out for Jose Escobar as the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. I love my founding partner sponsors. I've got a few. I'm always looking for some more sponsors, but I love them to death, all of them. I appreciate them so much. I can't do this without them. So Jose Escobar, check out his Connected Leaders Academy membership to take your business to the next level. This is the perfect tribe to learn, grow, and connect like never before. The Connected Leaders Academy tribe brings together some of the highest level entrepreneurs from literally all over the world, 17 or 18 countries and almost every state they're in. Set up your virtual coffee with Jose Escobar today, and you can reach him at theentrepreneur'sbookshelf.com. theentrepreneur'sbookshelf.com. And it's an incredible organization. It's an incredible group. So reach out to excuse me, Jose. And we're going to take a quick break here. Please, please, please pause and breathe as we go to a break. Pause and breathe. Ground yourself. Let it settle. Let the information settle so that we can add to it and move into another piece, right? Because we want to find out the next piece we're going to talk about it. Why does it even matter? Right? Who gives a crap? Really, at the end of the day, why does it matter? Why do my priorities have to be in line? So we're going to talk about that when we come back. Don't forget to pause and breathe. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. I'll be right back.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to the longbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for staying with me. Today we are talking about translating our priorities, checking our schedule and our checkbook, where we spend our time and our money. Why is it important? We talked about what definitions of priorities is. What does that mean? What's a priority? And again, I had said, you know what? Where we spend our time and our money, that's what's the priority. That no matter what our mouth says, no matter what we tell ourselves or what we tell other people for that matter, where we spend our time and our money is the priority. And so as we jump into this next little piece here, why does it matter? Right? Why does it matter? Who gives a crap? Really? Why does having your priorities in order make a difference to your life? How come? Well, there's a few things in here. If we don't have clear priorities in our life, you're going to want to write some of this down. If we don't have clear priorities, we're going to struggle with a bunch of things. Managing time, but we're going to struggle with that. Partly because, partly because what do I do first? Right? Somebody stands us up for an appointment, and we have an hour, and we're like, oh, what do I do for an hour? I got some extra time. I can do some extra stuff. You know what? I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I'm gonna grab myself a sandwich, and I'll come back and I'll figure it out. And if you're like me, you go to the bathroom, and then there was stuff on the counter, so you put the stuff in the counter away in the bathroom, and then you go down to the kitchen, grab yourself for me a tea, and I make myself a sandwich. Well, there's stuff on the counter. I put it in the dishwasher, realize the dishwasher's clean, not dirty dishes. So I put all those dishes away and then put the stuff in the dishwasher. By the time I get back to my studio, my office, the hour's mostly gone because I didn't plan it. So if our priority isn't what it should be to get us where we want to go, I'm not telling you what your priorities should be. I'm saying if it's not what you will, if your priority isn't, will not get you where, sorry, hold on. If you're not doing things that get you where you want to go, then the priorities are messed up. You ever had a day where you run, you're busy, but I didn't get anything stroked off my list. Right? That the priorities messed up. The priority is not, okay, you know what? I put out fires all day. If we don't have clear priorities, our progress on or even setting goals, much less following through on them, is going to be difficult. Even setting a goal is going to be hard because we don't know what the priority is. If we don't have clear priorities, following through on our commitments is going to be hard because we're going to overextend ourselves. We think we have extra time because we're not paying attention. And when we write a list, lots of people will write a list. This is my to-do list. I write a get-to-do list. Again, just that little bit of the phraseology, the words we use with each other or for ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves, changes the way I approach the stuff on the list. If it's to-do list, it's kind of an obligation. But if it's a get-to-do list, it's hey, I get to do these things. And I'm a big believer in eating the frog. And what I mean by that is find the hardest, most arduous, the thing you least want to do on the list and do it first. Right? A lot of times we do it the other way. What are a couple of quick things I can stroke off that are easy that I like to do that? Yeah, do. But then in the back of my brain, I'm always thinking, yeah, but I got to do that nasty thing. Oh man, I got to do that nasty thing. And we just keep putting it off and procrastinating, and it doesn't get done. And it gets moved from day to day to day to day. And eventually we go, you know what? I have to get it done because now the pressure's on. I now have a deadline. I got to get it done. And so we do it instead of prioritizing properly and going, you know what? Maybe I can do it in little pieces. Maybe I don't have to do it all at one time. Maybe I can break it up, right? Eating an elephant, one bite at a time. I can do little bits of it every day and it'll get done. Having an A, B, C, D list on top of my get-to-do list today is something. If you don't know what that means, reach out to me. I'll share that with you. I teach pro athletes to do that. It's unbelievably effective. So if we don't have clear priorities, we get overwhelmed due to overloading ourselves. Because we overschedule. And that's okay in the sense if we overschedule on a Monday, it can cascade into Tuesday and then cascade into Wednesday. So I'll plan less and less through the week so that Friday there's no cascade or Saturday there's no cascade. It gives me the time at the end of the month, at the end of the week, because I know life's going to happen. There's going to be stuff that happens I'm going to have to deal with every day on top of the things on my get-to-do list, right? Based on what the priorities are. If I don't have clear priorities, holding on to boundaries is going to be difficult. I should say no to that, but you know what? I really want to do that. And can I fit that in? I don't think so, but I'm going to do it anyway. It makes it hard. I'm not holding my priority. What's the priority? When I was in the car business, when I was in that industry, everything came before me and my family. Complete strangers that wanted to buy a vehicle came before myself, my own health, and my family. That's ridiculous. But that was the priority at the time. That I had made that choice to make that a priority. Going through the motions of life in constant reactive state, falling victim, pardon me, to what's urgent and pressing you in the moment. And then by the time you've reacted to the important tasks, you're exhausted or spent, and you push off the other things till later. Again, part of that's boundaries. Part of that's making sure I have it set out properly. We're reactive instead of responding. And some of our life is reactive. Don't get me wrong, right? If something happens, somebody pulls into my lane in the car, I have to react to that. It's not a response necessarily, right? And maybe I give it a little bit of thought. I'm like, okay, wait. Okay, yep, nope. But that can happen in a blink of an eye. Stimulus, pause, respond. The pause may be only a few seconds long, right? But there's a reaction time in there too, right? If we don't have clear priorities, we're going to struggle making quickly and confidently making decisions due to lack of clarity on our values and long-term vision for our life. We have to have crystal clear priorities. What's important to me? When they asked Richard Branson to talk, Charity did. He goes, if it doesn't get me closer to one of the 3 things of my goal for the year, I have 3 goals for the year. If what you're asking me to do doesn't get me closer to one of those 3 things, I'm not doing it. It doesn't matter how good it is. That takes a ridiculous amount of discipline, by the way. But it's also a choice. It's a choice. We're not talking, I would never tell you that it's easy. Absolutely brutally hard. Brutally hard. It takes massive discipline to do this way, which is why most people don't do it. It's too hard. But the reward at the end of the day, if you can hold to it, is overwhelmingly worth any discipline it takes to get there. If we don't have a clear priority, we're going to struggle falling victim to living out of what you think your priorities should be based on other people's. So based on their priorities, not on your priorities, or what you're reading or consuming. So if you're reading a book, you're watching a podcast, or you're going to get pulled all over everywhere because we don't have your own priorities locked in. That's a problem. We're going to struggle. Life's going to be hard. You hear me talk all the time about emotional quotient. Having good, solid, healthy emotional quotient, our emotional intelligence, and it's not really an intelligence, but holding on to that can make a huge monster difference in our life. Monster difference. All these things, and if you listen to me for any length of time, you realize all this stuff goes together. All these things are interconnected. And for most of us, and for pretty much everybody on the planet, our brain is controlling that stuff. Our brain, and sometimes it's our subconscious. You're not even aware it's happening. You're not even aware it's happening. You don't think inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You don't tell your heart, hey, pump, 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 pump. You don't have to do that. But your brain is. Some part of your brain is telling your heart to pump, giving it that stimulation, your lungs to breathe. Things are happening in your life without you realizing it, but you're telling it to do it. And you may be giving yourself, oh, that's not true. I'm not getting what I want. There's a reason for that. We can go into that another time. But part of the challenge with even that is that our priorities are messed up. When was the last time you took a good look at your priorities? Really, 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 truly took a really close look. You ever have you ever written them down? You ever looked at them? You ever actually talked through what's the priority? I don't think we do. Well, most of the time we're not talking about it. It's not something we discuss. It's just something that happens. Anyway, I need to take another quick break. It shocks me how fast time goes. And you know what? That bleeds into what we're talking about. It's a priority. Doing my show is a priority. Sharing with you and pouring into you is a priority. And creating content for this stuff is a priority. And it's helping me as much as it's helping you. At least I hope it's helping you. If it's not, I'm not sure why you're listening, maybe it's my rugged good looks or my long beard, or well, I don't know. Maybe you're reading the title of the books. I don't know, but that's not the goal. That's not my priority, is to give you tools and strategies to be able to improve your life. And I hope that that's happening. I need to take another quick break. I'm going to do another quick shout out for Jose Escobar, is the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. Check out his Entrepreneur's Bookshelf program to learn more about the morning and evening routine mastery program that is changing people's lives. The program will help you install systems on the bookends of your day to maximize your morning and evening routine. Set up your free strategy session with Jose Escobar today, and you can reach him at theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. That's theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. You can also reach him and ask him when you talk to him about the conferences, the Connected Leaders Academy conferences. There's a global summit next year that'll be unbelievable. All the details will be on will be on connectedleadersacademy.com. You can find that information there. So check that out. Ask him when you talk to him. He can share that with you. As we go to a quick break here, again, don't forget to pause and breathe. I'm going to remember to do that this time after I get a quick drink, but pause and breathe to ground yourself. I'll be right back. And we're going to talk a little bit about how do I do that? Okay, Gord, it's great. I gotta define my priorities. How do I do that? Can you give me some ideas? And so I want to give you some stuff. So as we go to break here, you're with the long bearded guy, Gordon D Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. Be right back.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
The Connected Leaders Academy is the #1 fastest growing networking community for entrepreneurs. CLA assembles high-level leaders, titans of industry, and business owners under one roof. If you're an entrepreneur looking to grow personally, professionally, scale your influence, develop skills, and expand your network exponentially, the CLA is where you need to be. Want on to more podcasts and shows, speak on more stages, sell more books, products, and services, get more leads, referrals, acquire new clients, develop lifelong friendships, and more. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. Contact Jose Escobar on Facebook or check out www.claglobalsummit.com for more information.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me. You're with Gordon D Melville, the long-bearded guy on Inspired Choices Network. And today we're talking about translating our priorities, checking our schedule and our checkbook, checking out where we spend our time and our money, because that's the priority. Those are things that are really, truly important to us. Those are, and I can't stress that strongly enough. But we want to talk a little bit about how to define that, because you know what? I mentioned before, it's hard. Holding priorities where you want them to be so you're not alone, right? We all struggle with it. It's not just you. It's hard for everybody. It's hard for me. It's hard for you. It's hard for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. The most successful people you know, it's still hard to hold on to those priorities. Those are muscles that have to grow over time. And even if you do it for decades, it's still difficult. It can still be hard. So I want to encourage you, hey, you're not different than anybody else. You're not a freak. You're not strange. You're not broken anywhere. You're perfectly normal, just like the rest of us. So where do you spend most of your time and your money? because those are your priorities. And don't should all over yourself. Don't SHOULD, should. Don't should all over yourself. Just make better choices. I should have done this. I should have. Yeah, you didn't though. Yeah, I know, but I should. No. You stop that. You made your choice. Now own the choice and live with what you did on all the sides. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Maybe you made a great decision, and you know what? Own it. We seem to be able to own it on the good side, but not on the bad side. Right? When things work properly, we own that. Oh, I made a great choice. That was amazing. But if it doesn't work, oh, yeah, that was because of my boss, or that was because of an ex, or that was because of this thing or that thing, or so it was somebody else's fault. It wasn't. Own it. Own it. Stop shooting all over yourself. Stop playing that back looking thing. It's stopping you from moving forward, and you can believe that or you don't have to, but I'm telling you, looking at, we use the, remember that we talk about the rearview mirror being this big, but your windshield being this big, right? But when you look into that rearview mirror, do you gaze into it? Do you stare into the rearview mirror? No, you glance into the rearview mirror and you look back at the road. You glance into it and look back at the road, right? Otherwise you crash. But we do that in our life all the time. We stare into and we long sometimes. Oh, I should have. Stop doing that. It's stopping you from moving forward. Glance back, see where you've been, but don't stop there. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on what your priorities are. But that means I have to know what my priorities are and be honest about what they are. Right? I can't go, oh, my health is a priority. And then I look at my bank statement, and I've eaten at McDonald's and fast food places every day. Well, clearly it's not a priority. Health is not a priority. If it was, you wouldn't be eating out all the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? But we have to be honest about it. We have to be able to look at ourselves in the mirror and go, you know what? I'm going to call a spade a shovel. I have to be honest with myself about what the priorities are. So I'm challenging you. I'm throwing a gauntlet down again. You need to check. So, Gord, how do I define my priorities? How do I figure that out? I've got gobs and gobs and gobs of these, probably 25 or 30 of them, but I'm going to give you the top 5. Okay. Partly because I don't have time to give you 30. I'd love to. If you want more, reach out to me. Engage. Gord, what are the other ones? Can you share with me? So, top 5 ways to stay focused on our priorities. Take time to reflect on what is most important to you and what your priorities are. Again, write them down. Figure out what they are, write them down. If you're not sure, go to your bank book and go to your checkbook or to your scheduled date timer. That'll give you an idea. Are those really your priorities? Is that really what you want? Or are you making choices that aren't exactly in the direction that, right? Because if it's not taking you where you want to go, then we turn around and bitch and bellyache and whine because we're not where we want to be. Well, I can't shoot myself in the foot and then complain because it hurts. You shot yourself, Goober. Come on. Number 2, set specific goals and make a plan to achieve them. And we've talked about goals before because that's the final step, right? And if that doesn't make sense to you or you haven't heard that before, reach out to me. I can share. The goals should be easy. Setting a goal should be fairly straightforward because that's the many steps it takes to get to the next step. Number 3, prioritize tasks and responsibilities based on their importance and urgency. Don't just write a get-to-do list. Hey, put them in order. This one's more important than that one. That one's more important than this one. Great, put them in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you think of them, you're written them down. But number them right next to them. Right? Some of them carry more weight. Some of them are more urgent. Some of them have absolutely get done today. And some of them, maybe that could wait till tomorrow. So maybe the urgency is not there for that one, but I still would like to get it done if I can. Prioritize your tasks. Number 4, regularly review and adjust your priorities as needed. Maybe your priorities change. Right? The priority is, hey, I got to get healthy. Once you're healthy, or what your definition of healthy was, right? Oh, I want to release 10 pounds. Great. Once you've released the 10 pounds, maybe the priority changes. I need to lose another 5. Or you know what? I need to maintain this. I need to prioritize my health to be able to maintain that loss of the 10 pounds. That means regular review. Number 5 is be mindful of how you spend your time and make sure it aligns with your priorities. Be mindful of how you spend your time and your money and make sure it aligns. It should go through your head when you're spending time and money in a place that isn't going to get you where you want to go. That's a choice you're making. The accountability to yourself, it's a choice you're making. It's not anybody else's fault. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about, great news. It's all my fault. You have the choice. And I don't mean it's my fault for your challenges, right? It's your fault for your challenges. Own them. That way you're not a victim. Own them and then make different choices. Don't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over. I'm going to give you one more, okay? So it's a +1, bonus. Communicate your priorities in your inner circle for support and encouragement. Share your, not with everybody. It's not dirty laundry all over everywhere. That's not what I'm talking about. Your inner circle, the people that you know love you and care about you and want you to succeed. And if you're not surrounded by people like that, you're in the wrong tribe. That's just the reality of it. If you're not in a group or you're not surrounded by people that celebrate when you achieve stuff, they get yucky and bitchy and whiny and, oh, why are you doing that for? That's it. You're in the wrong group. You're in the wrong place. You're surrounding yourself with people that are not going to get you. Again, if you're happy where you are, forget me. Don't worry about it. You don't need to discipline yourself in any way, shape, or form. If you've got exactly what you want right now, congratulations. Most people don't. But there's 2 directions we can go with that. Right? The one direction is I'm going to do something about it. That's the narrow way that most people don't choose. Most people, that's the stairway, right? The highway is where most people go. And they say there isn't a traffic jam ever, never on going the extra mile. On that extra mile, there is no traffic jams there. Sadly, because people don't want to do it. People don't choose to do that. And again, you can like it, you don't have to like it. Doesn't change what it is. It's our choices. And again, we're selling ourselves. And a lot of times we're selling ourselves short. Because we're not making the choices on the priorities that will really matter to us. Right? It goes back to being on the deathbed. Nobody says I should have spent more time at McDonald's. I should have eaten more Big Macs. That never happens. Nobody ever says that. And I'm not saying it's bad to have a Big Mac. They're delicious. What I'm saying is a steady diet of that's not going to be helpful. Matter of fact, you get to your deathbed quicker. Right? It's bad for you. There's certain things that are they yummy? Yes. Are they amazing? And certain things, you know what? But it's a choice. It's your choice. And if you don't understand what your priorities are, it's going to cause challenge. You're going to get to the end of your life and not have done the things you wanted to do. And if that's okay, no problem. Don't worry about it. Right? But again, if you're listening to me still, I suspect it's because you want to grow. It's because you're not happy where you are and you've taken ownership of that and you want to move forward. So congratulations. I'm here to hold your hand. I'm here to help you with that. I have programs. I've got a Box Inside Out program for both men and women at the moment. Cohorts that are registering. You want some extra stuff? You want to make sure you can get to that next level? You want tools in your toolbox that you can use when life gets hard? Or that can help you deal with the not just your emotions, but the things that happen in your life? If you want help, reach out. That's what I'm here for. thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. If you want to help me get this message out and spread the engagement, I got huge reach, but the engagement, you want to help this get out, I've got sponsorship opportunities for you. Would love to have. And if you happen to know somebody that has a beard company or a connection to a beard company, I would love a beard company as a sponsor. I'm your avatar. I'm your client base. Their people, their customers look like me. And that's no shot at any of the bearded ladies on the planet. I'm just saying most of the people with a beard are men. Almost all of them. I would love to have a beard company sponsor. If you know somebody, let me know. Anyway, I need to take another quick break. I'm here to help plug in however I can. I'm here to help you however I can. If you're a pro athlete, a coach, reach out. I'm talking to you. If you're a founder of a business, you're a business person, you're a high-level leader, reach out to me. Reach out to me. I want to help. I'm here to help. Good resources are only amazing if you plug into them. Only if you plug into them. As we go to a quick break here, don't go anywhere. We're going to do a quick wrap and a call to action that I think was very powerful for me. So I'm hoping that it comes across that same way for you. It is helpful for you. So as we go away, don't forget to pause and breathe. We'll be right back to finish up and move on with our day. So you're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville on Inspired Choices Network. Be right back. See you in a minute.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville on Inspired Choices Network. And today we've been talking about translating our priorities, translating them, making sure they are what you want them to be. Do you even know what they are? Do you know what you want them to be? Like, do you have any idea? Or do we just sort of flop along and go, you know what, it's going to happen however it's going to happen? I just chase my tail all day, running reactive all over the place. I get stuff done, but I'm reacting to everything. I'm putting up fires all over the place instead of, I want to plan my day instead of my day planning me. Translating our priorities. Check your schedule in your checkbook. Where you spend your time and your money, that's the priority, regardless of what your mouth says, regardless of what you tell yourself. Are you lying to yourself? Or are you actually achieving what the priorities are? Does your checkbook and your day timer reflect what you believe your priorities are? You write them down. Challenge you, write them down. Again, I'm throwing the gauntlet down because I'm like, you know what? It's come up for me again a couple times in the last few weeks. Where am I spending my time and my money? That's the priority. That's the priority. And is it getting me where I want to go? And if it's not, it's a choice. It's a choice. Make a different choice and see what happens. I'm not afraid to fail. It's the only failure if I stop, if I quit. That's the only way to fail. Right? Edison with what, 10,000 different ways that weren't a light bulb. He didn't fail 10,000 ways. Right? He didn't fail 10,000 times. He found a whole whack of other things. He found 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. Perspective. What lens are we using? But be honest with yourself. Got to be honest. I mean, again, that's the ultimate sale, right? Of ourself, making ourself believe. And a lot of times I don't even think it's selling ourselves. I think it's letting ourselves off the hook. It's saying, you know what? I deserve to have a Big Mac. I deserve to, I deserve it. It's okay. We're selling ourselves. We're letting ourselves off the hook. So the call to action this week, I want you to check your checkbook and your day timer. Take a good deep look. Don't just look at a page. Look at multiple days in your day timer. Look at multiple months in your checkbook, in your bank account, in your credit card bills. Look at itemized. What are they? Is that something I had to have? Is that something I needed? Or is that something I just kind of went, you know what? It was in the moment. I reacted in the moment, and I was doing retail therapy, right? We all do it. We all do it. Oh, I was binge eating because I was frustrated with what I didn't get done. We all do it. I'm not throwing stones. We all do it. I do it. I'm challenging you though. Hold yourself accountable. I hold myself accountable over and over and over and over. It doesn't mean I don't have fun. Have fun. You only live once. Actually, that's not true. You only die once. You live every day if you choose to. But check your schedule or your checkbook. Do they match what you tell yourself your priorities are? And if not, write them down, figure it out. Do you want to even? If you don't want to, don't worry about it. But are you willing to be brutally honest with you and align those pieces better? Are you willing to do that? To make better choices? If you need help with it, reach out. That's what I'm here for. I can help you do that. Would love to help you do that. Would love to. But you have to be honest with yourself. Because then I'm not looking for people that I have to motivate. Right? I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for people that are already motivating themselves, right? I'm not here to kick your butt. On this show, I'm trying to help you do that. I'm rattling your cage. But if I'm working with you one-on-one, or you jump into one of my programs, I'm looking for people that are already kicking their own butt. They're already holding themselves to a high level of accountability. So I love working with pro athletes so much. They're already doing that more than most people. That's how they got where they are. You want that accountability level? Do you want to achieve your goals and your priorities? You got to do something different. You got to pay attention. You got to measure what you want. Right? What gets measured can improve. If it doesn't matter, you don't measure it. I want it to improve. Do you measure it? No. Well, then how do you know you're moving forward? Next week is Friday, August the 9th. And we're into our third season now. Shocks me. Third season. Unbelievable. Thank you to everybody for that. Thank you to my sponsors. Thank you to my listeners. Thank you to people that watch. I appreciate you so much. So much. Reach out and engage. As we go into this third year, we're going to try and do some more engagement. Right? So next week, the title of the show, you have to find out. You have to tune in to find out. It'll be a surprise. There's some really good stuff happening and some good stuff generating. And so next week, tune in to get what that is. I'm holding it. It'll be a special one. But as we go to this next week, as we go into this week, be honest with you. Be courageous. Be unapologetically you. You want to be unique? Be you. That's unique. Make it another great week because you can do that. Live out you abundantly and with intention. Remember, I love you. Big, massive hugs. We'll see you next week. And the question I have is, who are you being? Who you be? How are you showing up in the world? How are you showing up for yourself? Pay attention.
Thank you for tuning into the Long Bearded Guy Show. You are appreciated and loved. Gordon D Melville returns Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on the InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, make it another great week, leading with love, powerfully designing, crafting, and living out your positively impactful legacy life you were created for. Big hugs.